You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters, let's talk about JJ McCarthy and the Vikings quarterback situation. Oh, man, I don't know what to think about this. I'm a JJ McCarthy fan. All right, I had him as the second-best quarterback coming out in the draft. I can tell you this, he looked good in training camp last year, looked great in that preseason game. Then he got hurt. Essentially, JJ McCarthy is a rookie quarterback. Okay? We know he didn't get to play at all last year, and he lost out on a lot of reps because, well, he didn't get all the preseason, etc. And now he's coming in as the starter. But there's a hell of a lot of conflicting information out there. It's like he either looks great or he's a disaster. And I'm like, a disaster? I don't know about that. That just sounds crazy to me. But there are questions being asked right now. And now there's starting to be trade winds blowing involving, you guessed it, Captain Kirk himself. Kirk Cousins. And the idea of him coming back, obviously Kevin O'Connell's got a relationship with Kirk, and would he probably want to come back to the Vikings other than setting in Atlanta? Yeah, I got a feeling he probably would. Kevin O'Connell on JJ McCarthy.
And obviously this joker running by me right there, his skill set, he wouldn't be here, guys, if we didn't think he had the skill set required to play this offense, the version of quarterback in this offense at its peak that we need. Does that mean that it has to be from day one? Otherwise, we're all going to make some flash judgment of what he is or he isn't. It's not how I'm going to roll. You guys know that. My job is to coach, lead, teach, and motivate our team. But for JJ, this is a minute-to-minute thing of growth, development, and playing the quarterback position, managing our offense. Whatever we decide gives us the best chance to win football games while also coinciding with what his personal development plan is, because I think a rapid answer to that question, Ben, and just a kind of a little bit less in-depth answer has been the problem with our league and the quarterback position, in my opinion, at least from my view over these last few years. So we're going to do it with a really scientific, really a method of our madness, where we're going to do a lot of things and a lot of the acquisitions of players and how we're going to play. It all fits like a bunch of puzzle pieces. Otherwise, I'm not doing my job for not only JJ McCarthy, but all these guys out here wearing purple and white that you see.
Okay, so that's Kevin O'Connell giving you his philosophy, right? On quarterbacks in general, also JJ McCarthy. Now, this was Diana Rossetti on with Colin Cowherd. And I thought this was rather interesting. Now, it depends on how much stock you put in Rossetti, but this is what was being said yesterday.
I said this before the draft. I wasn't hearing teams were rushing to get J.J. McCarthy. I knew two teams that wanted to move up for Michael Penix. I knew one that wanted to move up for Drake May. And I didn't hear anybody moving up for Bo Nix.
That was the Giants that wanted Drake May.
Sean Payton loved him, and that's about, he fell to where he should. But what I'm hearing on J.J. McCarthy would not instill confidence. Do I have a bad source? I mean, what do you make of the whole elevation of these stories that, hey, be patient, he's hitting it? Where are we on that?
Well, first, let's go with what I can tell you Alec Lewis, the Athletic Vikings reporter, shares with me, because I talk to him pretty regularly. And it sounds like it's just up and down, right? So there's some good, there's some bad. So, to that idea that the bad clips don't mean anything, I'm with you. It means something. At the same time, I've had coaches tell me when I used to be more of a beat reporter that sometimes you don't even know what we're doing. There's a reason why we're doing the certain things that we're doing, and you guys are just not informed. But that being said, I think what you're pointing to, it sounds like what you've noticed is maybe something that I've noticed too, is there is a lot of lifting up of JJ McCarthy, right? And some of that's good, because you want to give this young quarterback coming off a very serious injury, who obviously struggled with sitting out right? We saw the fact that he lost all that weight. And I know the Vikings don't want to make a big thing of that because that just is part of the process of dealing with a significant injury. But it's also difficult to be sitting there when you're supposed to be the guy and Sam Darnold's out there at one point looking like the star of the show, right? And then you have an organization who makes the decision to let Sam Darnold walk. They want to keep Daniel Jones, but they don't want to pay what Daniel Jones wants because Daniel Jones wants to be the guy, right? Those guys left Minnesota for a reason because it was made very clear to them, no matter what, JJ McCarthy is the guy. So what is it?
Okay, let me stop it right there. Well, it was made very clear to them, except they flirted with Aaron Rodgers. Let's not forget that. Okay, let's not forget that. So, over at The Athletic, all right? And this is the Vikings head coach paused during his press conference, glazed upwards, and said, "The sky is not falling, so all is good." Talking about JJ McCarthy. His offense had been stagnant in preceding days. Young quarterback JJ McCarthy hadn't struggled to any concerning degree, but the lack of consistent ball movement warranted a response from O'Connell. It's like asking a baseball manager about his starting pitcher. The stat line says this, but what did you see? O'Connell noted the challenge of facing Bryant Flores' dynamic defense. Yeah, I get that. He cited McCarthy's competitiveness. He fixated on post-play dialogue and suggested that those real-time reviews are what he liked the most. O'Connell rattled off the tenets of the quarterback's job in the passing game: technique and fundamentals, eye progression, discipline, your decision based on situation. Erring in any of these areas would raise O'Connell's antenna. Something similar occurred on Wednesday. McCarthy was flush from the pocket, and while drifting to the right, he tried a crossbody throw to the running back Aaron Jones. Linebacker Blake Cashman nearly intercepted the pass. All right, so you obviously don't want him making that pass. How about this? JJ McCarthy, already labeled a loser, but that tag is never going to stick. I mean, what is going on here? So far in camp, the McCarthy-led offense has struggled, so much so that per ESPN's Kevin Seifert, head coach Kevin O'Connell made a point of saying, the sky is not falling, so it's all good. When periods don't go your way, you're always asking why. It's never a loss, and you're always learning from it, good or bad, but especially those periods where they really get you. I feel like that's where we can learn and the most about ourselves and our offense and identity. Yikes. So, by the way, Brett Ripien, Sam Howell is there. And a lot of people just figured, okay, well, Sam Howell's obviously going to be the guy, right? Maybe not, because supposedly he hasn't looked good either. So let's get around to this. A recent report from Ben Goslin of the Star Tribune says it's possible the Vikings could be looking to bring in a backup quarterback or a quarterback that could compete for the starting job. Quote, I think there is going to continue to be a hunt for an option. We saw them do that 3 years ago with Nick Mullins, making the trade for him during the preseason. He ends up being the number 2 for 3 years. If they found something they liked that worked in a trade, I wouldn't be surprised if they found a way to make something happen. Perhaps the most intriguing name on the potential trade market is Kirk Cousins. Of course, he was brought up. Quote, I don't think it's impossible, Goslin replied. There's still a very good relationship between Cousins and O'Connell. They are still friends. They are and still, I think, in contact at times. Bringing in Cousins to be a starter would be a bit questionable at this stage of his career, but the Vikings believe that all they need is for him to be a player like Sam Darnold was last year. So this is getting interesting. It is. Let's just really take a quick look right here. And I mean, look, McCarthy can scoot, folks. He can scoot. There's no doubt about it. Him running it in for the touchdown. This is going to be him letting it rip. This is going to be a pass in the middle of the field. Right here. That's a good pass. I mean, that's a good throw, but you got to be able to make those kind of throws. And what's odd is I saw him make those kind of throws in training camp and even in that preseason game last year. Jordan Addison on JJ McCarthy, quote, he's accurate, reads the defense pretty well. I think he's going to be good. It's still early right now, but when it comes to anticipation throws, beating the defense with the ball, I think he's going to be a great quarterback in the league. And, of course, obviously, he's got two good weapons. If they can stay on the field, they just lost Jordan Addison to a little suspension. In fact, let me just take a look because I actually had that up for half a second.
So we're going to do it with a really signed.
Let me, where did I see that? I think it's 3 games, but I'm not, I'm trying to quote that off of just the memory of seeing it in passing and reading it for a second and moving on. But I think it's 3 games. So anyway, it's getting a little interesting in Minnesota with JJ McCarthy, a guy I thought would grab this job and run. But now it's like, well, what are we supposed to believe? He's great. He's struggling. But he is technically, at least when it comes to games played, he's pretty much sort of a rookie, right? Outside of an extra training camp. We'll have to see. And then the weirdness around him losing all that weight, I still don't understand that exactly. You would think it would go the other way if he couldn't be up running around. I don't know. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time. Before we jump in, make sure you go to our merch store, our Make Basketball Great Again shirt, and our newest shirt that just came out. Both shirts are brand new. The American Flag Skull Fever Enforcer shirt. And use promo code CC22 for 20% off.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.